September 26th, 2013. I was just getting over pneumonia and I had an appointment with my surgeon who was going to do the double mastectomy. In my mind, I thought, well, why not get reconstructive surgery done while I'm getting the double mastectomy? It seemed to make sense logically to me. However, apparently that is not how they do it. So my husband and I went into the office and his nurse was just lovely. And then he came in and he had clearly read my chart and knew that I was stage 4 Mets and told me that it was palliative and why would I want to get reconstructive surgery and it would just grow back and it would be ugly and it would be a real problem. And he put the fear of God in me. No one had used the word palliative to me before. And there he was, just sort of spewing all the stuff out. And I was so confused. The pit in my stomach was the size of Montana. But he did actually, right that day, get me in with a reconstructive surgery doctor, a plastics doctor, the best one at UHN, as a matter of fact. So I had a consult with him, even though I was just in distress. And he said, oh yeah, we've done lots of Mets patients. It's fine. And before I left the surgeon's office, he said, oh, by the way, come back next week. I want to know what the plastics guy said. So I went home and you can imagine the week I had. I was distraught. I lost hope. I'm like, what is going on? And I didn't understand how the language that he used fit with what the rest of my care had been. Anyway, so I spent the week really just in a bad way. And it's amazing how words and how physicians or people in healthcare can choose words and they don't understand the effect it can have on the patient, who is a human, that's sitting across the table. So I managed to make it through to the next week, which wasn't super easy, but my sister had agreed to go to the next appointment with me. And when we were in the car, she says to me, why does he even want to see you again? And I'm like, I don't know. He said he did, so we're going. So I went in that day and he started to examine me and he's like, it's just that we don't normally do it this way. We usually do the mastectomy and then do the reconstructive surgery later. He said, but I guess if you can't have radiation, it makes sense. What? So I'm going through my mind and I'm thinking to myself, why can't I have radiation? Thinking of all the things that have happened to me in the past and nothing's coming up. So I take a deep breath and it really did take all my might for me to say, why can't I have radiation? And he goes, I don't know. That's what it says on your chart. So I'm going to tell you right now, I made a choice to keep myself in the narrative. If I had chosen to stay quiet, I would not be here doing these videos today. So he quietly left his office or left the examining room, and he went and he found my radiation oncologist and had a consult with her. And then the two of them went and found a radiation oncologist. So just to be clear, there's surgical oncologists, there's medical oncologists, and there's the radiation oncologists. And all three are a little bit different. So they have this consult. He's gone about 30 minutes. And they come back and they say, and my medical oncologist came with him. And they said, yeah, there doesn't seem to be any reason you can't have radiation. So to this day, I don't know why that was written on my chart, whether it was supposed to be for somebody else, whether it was the type of cancer I had and somebody thought, no, we won't bother with radiation. I don't know. But the good news is within 3 days, I was having radiation on my right iliac bone. And that spot in 10 years has not changed. So it's gone dormant. And that's because of the radiation. So this man, who I really didn't have a lot of respect for that whole week, actually saved my life because he did listen when I spoke up. So it's just a little lesson in we're all human and we have to tell our stories and we have to tell our truths and we have to speak up when we feel, even if it's tough, even if it's hard in a doctor's office and we think that, they're right because they're doctors. Sometimes they're not. And I'm here today to prove that. Just know that bit by bit and chunk by chunk, we're going to get through this. If you have any comments, questions, or experiences that you'd like to share, please put them in comments. And as always, subscribe, follow, and like. Have a great day.